So what is going on, guys? It is me, your boy Flash Jones, back again with another video. And this one, guys, we're just gonna talk about boxcars. As I'm sure you can tell by the title, got a bunch of boxcars to show you. I got a couple of Amtrak cars to show you. We're gonna talk about a couple other little things that I got planned and that I got back ordered and pre-ordered and ordered and all that good stuff. This is not necessarily going to be an unboxing video, but we're going to unbox all these and look at them, inspect them, make sure they're in compliance, and make sure the coupler height's correct and all that good stuff. But that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right on in to this video. Alright, guys, so like I said, this video, we're just going to take a look at a couple things. First and foremost, I got to give a huge shout out to everybody who follows me on Instagram and to all of my subscribers on YouTube. I 100% appreciate all you guys. Okay, I remember when I first started, I could barely get a couple subscribers, one here, one there, a couple there. Now we're up to 500 and I don't know, 24 or something. Right? Not to say that's like humongous, but I appreciate you guys' loyalty, so to say. I appreciate you guys giving me feedback on everything that I do, the good, the bad, ideas, tips, tricks, all that, That's what we're here for, to share something that we all love, which is trains. So I wanted to do that because I've been meaning to say that in my last video on that scale trains car, but I forgot to. So we're doing it now. Thank you to everyone. I appreciate it. So that being said, I'm gonna move all this stuff out the way, and we're gonna take a look at some box cars. Stand by. Okay, guys. So like I said, I had two separate orders. Okay, one of them, this is everything from that order, and I'll take you guys off the tripod here. Okay, we got a set of Walthers cars. I'm sorry, Amtrak cars here. We got a set of box cars here, another set here, and another set right here, and of course another set right there. So first things first, since the only one that's completely different than all the others is that we'll take a look at those first. We're going to fast forward through a lot of it, but essentially we're just going to take a look at it and talk about it a little bit. Other than that, just going to take a look at everything. Okay? Sit back and enjoy. Alright, guys, so a little in progress. I got most of the box cars out from the first order. Okay? But I have more as well. I got a couple more, two more from this one order. Then I got the whole box of, I think that's 38 of them or so, I don't know, 20, in between 30 and 38 more. So, and I'm running out of space on my phone. This video is already 40 minutes long, so I'll take pictures of other cars. I'll post a picture of every single one of the cars in the video. But like I said, most of this video is just going to be taking a look at just looking at them. Essentially, we're talking about a few of them here in a little while, but as for now, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. I got a lot more to do, so catch you in a little while. Stay tuned. On a side note, guys, you would never experience the deliciousness of a Calypso lemonade, you should be slapped. Okay? My God. This is one of my favorite ones. But they got the Southern Peach Lemonade and Strawberry Lemonade. That one's kind of more lemonade-y than strawberry. But essentially, these are some good lemonades and good just drinks in general. Not to say that it's necessarily healthy. It's got 28 grams of sugar, which is completely off the topic. But when conducting yourself in train work and doing model railroading, this is a good drink to have on your side there. Yeah. It helps to quench that thirst. Oh my God. Alright, so guys, in case you forgot or don't know exactly how many boxcars these are, total boxcars 46. 46 total boxcars, totaling over $1,000. Okay, essentially what I did in this video, checked the gauge of the wheels, checked the coupler height. I weighed majority of them, probably 95% of them all. Essentially inspected them for any broken parts, coupler damage, which quite a few of them had, and any other issues that these cars may have had. We will take a closer look at a couple of these cars here in a second. But so guys, essentially in this entire video, because I did want to take the time to look at each individual car at least once, we're just going to take a look at, as I was saying before the camera cut out, I said essentially I just want to take the time to do a real one-on-one with one of these cars and look at the detail on it and show you a couple things about the cars. This is a Walthers mainline car. It doesn't have a whole lot of detail, so to say, on them. It has a lot of the, I don't even say standard, but a lot of the minimalistic types of detail on the car. You get your decals with your R box there, the name of the car essentially, and the car number. You get essentially no detail on the AN. You get a metal coupler. This one actually seems to be fine. I had quite a few of them that had problems with the couplers. Looking at the opposite side of the same car, you got your grab irons running up the side here, your stirrup here. You got your door that in real life would slide back and forth, but on this car it's molded in place. You can't move that. Looking at the BN, actually still looking at this side, you got some car information here. That's pretty legible. Obviously, rail box. Paint is nice. Once again, like I said, I will post a couple photos in the video and on my Instagram page so you guys get a better look, because the camera's kind of washing it out a little bit and making the cars look more pale and washed out than what they really are. This car is actually a legit yellow, almost like a UP yellow. But looking at it in this way, at this particular point, looking at it this way, it looks kind of washed out. So, and that's just because of the flash. Looking at the BN, essentially no detail on the BN. You just get a brake wheel. just to signify that that is the BN of the car. And of course, the R box with the car number at the very top. One thing about all of these BoxCars that I have realized is that you can't pop the tops off. Some are way harder than others. This one, I know this one's going to be hard. You got to the best way that I figured it is if you just come at either end of it, the A or B end of the car, and just if you got a good nail on your finger, I got a good one on this finger, but if you got a good nail, you can kind of work your way pulling the top part up on this end and working in at it from the sides, and eventually you'll get the lid to come off. There you go. There is a weight down in there as far as good tracking if it's an empty car, which most people will use them as empties. Me personally, I'm gonna load these cars up. I'm not gonna, so to say, load them with goods, so to say, but essentially what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna find another metal plate similar to this one that's in there that'll fit in here, or cut it down however I need it to be, and then just drop it in, add an extra 20 ounces, 30 ounces or so to make it a legit weighted car, or a loaded car, so to say. And then as you can see on the inside of the car, there are a couple notches in there. That's where the lid will go back in and snap into place. It's harder to get back on than it is to take off if you don't know how to do it, and it took me a minute once I figured it out. The little trick, and the trick to getting these back on is if you once you get one side on, you kind of gotta slide the other end in on an angle a little bit, because you don't want to press too hard, because you'll just pop these pieces off there. Of course, they're plastic. So if you just kind of do it this way and you work it in, you can see that one's already in, and then essentially do it kind of similarly on the other side, working your way, and then once you got both your A end or your B end on, you push those in, and then there you go, and you push the center ones in. Something else is you get a little bit of detail on the bottom of the car, some brake rigging detail. You got your air cylinder here. You got some brake lines going to and from. You got your piston and your air cylinder. Oh, not sorry. There's your air reservoir. Sorry, air reservoir and brake cylinder. So air reservoir and brake cylinder with piston and braking apparatuses in here. One thing to note: these cars, the trucks are extremely wobbly. See, it's got a lot of play there. I know some guys say that you should have one on one end of the car loose and the other one tight. I don't know about that. I just all keep them at moderately the same. Of course, you can't get an exact, the exact same on every single car if you got a major size layout, but you get them all around the same. But to me, that's a lot of play, I think. But anyways, you got metal couplers, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, this car is $20 essentially. I got it from Train World, $18.99. Walthers wants from a range from about 26 to 30 or 32 bucks for these BoxCars, and I'll tell you right now, they're not worth anything over about $22. They're nice cars. They look good. I'm sure they'll track good. They got metal wheels and metal couplers. No detail on it essentially at all, except for that. But who's going to see that on the bottom of a car rolling down your layout? You're not. So essentially, it's an undetailed car. It's all molded in plastic, which is what the MainLine is. But as far as value, if you want these cars, right now is a good time to go to Train Road and pick them up if you can get them at the same price, which I imagine they still are. I don't know of anybody else who has these cars at this price, so I would imagine jumping on that relatively quickly if you want these cars. Okay, so we looked at the R box. This is another R box. I think they called this one the Post R box. This is the first one they came out with, because this one looks a little bit more updated. You can kind of see the difference in paint, and again, the flash is making the one in the background look more faded and washed than what it really is. But essentially, this is more bold and yellow than this one is. But it's the same exact detail. We're not gonna say everything all over again. The roof come off the same. That's the A end. Essentially, no detail there. You got your B end with a brake wheel on that end and molded on plastic grab irons. So essentially no detail, motored indoors, and a roof that does come off. So we looked at two types of R BoxCars. Now we're looking at the BN. Okay, and like I said, this is all the same exact detail that we just talked about on the initial R box. Look at the AN. They gives you the imitation of etched metal walkway, but it's not. It's just a piece of plastic painted silver to give you the appearance of an etched metal walkway. You got your brake wheel on your BN, and it's a BN car. That's a knee slapper. No, it's not. It's okay. So your BN car, it's the BN car, and that's the B end of the BN car. Again, you do have the BN initials with the car number at the top. It is legible. Flash. The camera is being silly. There it goes. No detail. Some detail on the bottom that all looks the same, and a lid that does come off. Okay. So look at our box BN. Look at the Santa Fe, the ATSF. Okay, it's a nice boxcar red, like a burgundy maroonish kind of color. The camera is picking this one up relatively correctly. I can't talk today for some reason, but it's picking it up relatively nicely, and it's got the color pretty good. But like I said, I will post some stills and in good lighting so you guys can see. The lid does come off the same exact way as the R BoxCars. Even if it doesn't appear that it doesn't, it does. You just got to work at it a little bit, and don't be freaked out about the creaking of the car. It'll do that until you get the lid off. I'm not gonna mess with it just because I've already showed you. Essentially, all the lids do come off. Be careful, as it is plastic and you will rip it. Like I said, I'm not gonna mess with it too much just because I've already showed you how to get them off. But the lids do come off. It's the same exact detail. So yeah. So we looked at 4 different paint schemes now. So you look at the CSX and although I'm not a CSX modeler, I am really loving this CSX blue that they got on this thing. I don't know, and the camera's making it look like more of a deep blue, like an ocean deep blue, than what it really is. This car is like a navy blue in person. And once again, I will post some stills. You guys can see the writing on the car and whatnot. It's the same exact detail. I just want to get you guys a nice look at all these cars. Top, bottom, side, upside down, AN, BN, just so you guys can get a see of it and a feel for it. I'm trying to keep all of this short and sweet because I haven't done any editing to the video yet, and it's already an hour and a half long. But a lot of it's not even talking. So, but like I said, I want to get through it as much as I can. Real quick, you have the braking detail on the bottom. Maybe kind of hard to tell since it's all the same color, molded in plastic. This one is a waffle sided 50-foot boxcar in Illinois Central. You got your car number there, and this one is a little different. It's just a standard gray. The lids on these come off extremely easy, literally. I put essentially no pressure down on that. That's the inside of the car, and they just push right back on. I imagine this is their first run of them. And then they decided to go with the way that they have the R BoxCars and everything else, because these ones, I mean, literally, they just come off so easily. But that's not a bad thing. Unless it starts to warp, then you might have some issues. You might have to glue it down. But these ones have even less detail on them. On a quick side note, you can see the difference in the way that the couplers are and the distance of the coupler. You can see on this car, on the R Box and this Illinois Central, the distance on each coupler is different. Okay. I would say that if this is a long shank coupler, but they could just have it recessed in a little different. But in real life, most of these box cars have end of car cushioning. And what end of car cushioning is BA Rail System actually just did a pretty sweet video on what slack and what slack action is. So if you haven't ever heard of him, please go check out his channel. Give him a little shout out. And check his last video out. It's about slack and the fact that he moved, I don't know how many cars it was, but essentially he moved his train forward and backwards, and the head end and the rear end moved at completely different times, and as one part of the train was moving. So head end would start to move a head, and then it would take a second or two or three for the rear end to stretch the slack out and finally catch up and start moving. And in real life, these BoxCars have intercar cushioning. Granted, these don't have them, but this coupler has a little bit more play than this one does. Not that that's significant at all. That's just something that I notice. I kind of pay attention to a lot of cars, some of them more than others, especially cars that I model. But that's just a small little detail for you. But that's what Slack and Slack Action is. I'll do a video on that one day, but he's got a great video on it now. So I'd rather you guys go over there and check him out and see what he's got and take a look at what he's doing, and because I like it. But last but not least, my favorite car out of the whole bunch. Let me make sure this is the last car. Illinois Central, CSX, BN. Oh no, not yet. Gonna hold that one off. Okay, another waffle-sided box car. I got this NS car. This is the same as the Illinois Central. Lid pops off extremely easily. All of the same detail, essentially, as the Illinois Central and the other box cars. No detail on the bottom. You got your air reservoir and your brake cylinder. No braking apparatuses. Wheels are a little bit better than the other ones. They still got play. They might be a little bit better. Like I said, I'd tighten them up quite a bit. No detail on the top. You got your BN with the brake wheel, and then you got your AN. Essentially nothing got molded in plastic, but I don't really consider that detail personally. In that video, I did check every single one of these cars, all 46 of them, and the other 4 were Amtrak dining cars, so I had a total of 50 cars. But as far as the box cars, all of the wheels are engaged, shockingly, for this massive amount of rolling stock, so to say, in one batch, one order like this. All of the wheels are engaged with the NMRA standard, which is something that's good. But not all the couplers were at the right height, and not all of the couplers were functioning couplers. So we'll be contacting Walthers about that. So that's your waffle, the NS waffle side. We got a SP box car. Okay. This one is not a waffle side. It's a standard. I don't want to call it a plug door box car, but it might be a plug door. The lid does come off just like the other cars in the R box. Much more difficult than the Illinois Central and the NS, but that's not all too bad. Same kind of detail. Braking apparatuses and your air reservoir and your brake cylinder, B end or A end of this car, and the B end of this car as well. You have your detail or your car initials and your car number up top. No detail running on the top. Of course, you got molded in plastic, but I don't know if you really consider that detail. If you do, good for you. But that's it. Nothing else really also special. Cool. So let's see. I want to make sure that this is not a different car. Do we do Santa Fe? We did Santa Fe. Alright, cool. So, and then lastly but not least, my favorite car, the BNSF car, the 724 826. You got your BNSF right here on the left side, okay, next to some molded in plastic grab irons in your stirrup. Center, got your door that's motored on, and your bracing, just like the other cars did. You got your Santa Fe or your BNSF Santa Fe badge, the top right. Got the car information, if you can pick that up. There you go. BN, AN. That coupler is kind of crooked. It's just got play to it. So, yeah, you got to watch yourself for these Walthers cars. Sometimes their couplers will be the ones that bite you in the butt. But AN of the car, looking at the opposite side of the car, same exact detail as the other side detail. And looking at the BN, got your brake wheel, BNSF, and the car number molded in plastic. What do you call it? Molded in plastic grab irons. And at the bottom, same detail as the other cars. Everything's the same. Braking apparatuses, brake lines, air reservoir, piston, all that good stuff. There you go. And take you guys off the tripod here for a minute. These are all the cars. Well, real quick, these are the ones that we just looked at. all right here. And as you kind of can see, the cameras, you see that our box, that's way more yellow than it was when I was kind of close up on it. You can you tell that? When you get close up on it, it washes it out a little bit. But when you're far off on it, it gives it more of a traditional yellow. But like I said, I will post some stills showing it because I took some stills right before this video and they came out pretty sweet. But these are all the cars that I got right in here. The total cars are 46, and the 4 Amtrak dining cars, just because they had a sell on those too, and they were going for right around 25, and the retail on it's like 70 something. So I picked up 4 of them because they only had that one for sale. I was like, yeah, let me snag one of those. I was gonna pick up a couple more of them, but they were already sold out, like not even 3-4 days later. But there you go, guys. I hope you did enjoy all of this. This portion of this video that I'm doing now will be at the end because I wanted to get everything out, inspect everything, check it all out, and of course I don't want to have you guys watch an hour and a half's worth of video of essentially nothing that would have been entertaining to you per se. So we're fast forwarded and chopped and screwed through a whole lot of that to get to this very point here, which is to show you the end result and to give you kind of a one-on-one with these cars and let you take a look at them, get a feel for them, see how much you like it, see how much you love it. If it tickles your soul a little bit, or if it doesn't tickle you or not, that's up to you. But like I said, MSRP on these cars are somewhere in the ballpark of about $30 to $33. Walthers is asking for in the range of $26 to $32, depending on which car you get. And I got these from Train World at $18.99, so $20 a pop, 46 cars. You can guess the number for yourself. But I did this for me. I love trains. You guys know that. My wife, if she doesn't know that, but she already did, she darn well knows it now. I absolutely love trains. It is a what's the word I'm looking for? Unfathomable, unreal. Let's just call it unreal. I have an unreal passion, desire for trains, and I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why. You guys out there, I'm sure you can relate. This is just how we are. This is just how we're wired. This is just something that we love. God bless you. This is just something that we love. And no one else can experience this love, and no one else can understand what we like and what this love is like, unless maybe if you're into trains or if you're into this hobby. So with that being said, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you did enjoy the look at all of these box cars, so that you can take a peek and a pick at what you want and see if that's something that meets the criteria for it being worthy of being spent from your hard-earned pockets and hard-earned money. But for the price point that I paid for them, $20 or $18.99, so $19 a pop, it's not bad. It's not a bad addition to the layout. It's not a bad addition to your rolling stock. If you can afford it and if you can get some, I would encourage you to get them, just because box cars are the staple for modern freight trains, and I should say manifest trains actually, not just freight, but for modern manifest trains that have no intermodal on them, so to say. They're hauling freight as in box cars, tank cars, coil cars, flat cars, hauling some giant generator, just standard regular freight that doesn't go on a container. This is the bread and butter of manifest trains. So I felt it was my job to pick some of them up. And I know I say it all the time, I just want to tell you guys again, like I told you in the beginning, thank you to all 520 of you, 24 of you, and thank you to all of you guys who subscribe to me on my Instagram. As you know, there will be giveaways that I actually just did on my Instagram that I will not do on YouTube, and then vice versa. So just because I had one on YouTube, on Instagram, doesn't mean I won't ever have any on YouTube. That was just an Instagram one. I didn't even expect it to get as popular as it did. It turned out getting popular. Then all of a sudden I got extremely busy with work and family and life, and a bunch of stuff just came up. And then after all that long hard on work, spent some money on my wife, did some upgrades here and there, and then she said, "Hey babe, go ahead and treat yourself." So I've been getting train stuff. So that being said, guys, thank you for your support and your loyalty. I appreciate it more than you know. Until next time, you guys have fun out there. Be safe. Always run those trains. Run those trains. Run those trains. Till next time, I'm out. It's your boy Flash Jones. Be safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.